hello, my ride or die. Hi, my Aries. How are you, my beautiful ones? So, thank you so much for your patience. This is going to be your solar eclipse and lunar eclipse in your houses. So, what I've done was I thought I'd do something different, and we have this big solar eclipse coming, and I know that there's a lot of hype about it, and but some people are wondering, like, what does that mean? What is that about? And we had this lunar eclipse on the 7th. So the effects of the lunar eclipse, though it's over, will last about 30 days. But it can last up to 2 and 3 months, but a lot of you will feel the effect for the first 30 days. Now, the solar eclipse is happening on August 21st, and you'll really feel the effects of that in the first 45 days, but it can last up to 6 months. So some of you can feel it up to 6 months. Things will be changing. So the lunar eclipse is about endings and letting go of stuff and in your life and sort of tweaking, right? But with the energies that were on this lunar eclipse, because of like the full moon and the new moon, because this is a new moon, with the effects, it could be abrupt endings. So it can, for some of you, not feel so good. Now, for others of you, or for all of you, in the solar eclipse, we have a new moon, and new moons are about beginnings. And the thing with this solar eclipse is that it's in Leo, and Leo, we're going into Leo energy, and Leo energy is, like Aries, like it's fiery, and it's about, I've worked hard. I'm trying to build a kingdom, and I'm going to get what I need to get. I need resources. I need, this. I need all kinds of stuff to be able to make my dreams come true. So, depending on which house these, the sun and the moon or the eclipses fall on, that's the house that it's going to be, that's the area of life it'll be affecting you the most. It's not that you won't be affected in other areas, but this is like what it's really honing in on. But again, you feel the effects for 6 months here, and then you feel the effects for about 3 months here. And so because they're so close together, we had it on the 7th, we have this on the 21st, you're doing this like ending beginning, ending beginning, ending beginning, because remember, the new moon is on the solar eclipse. So it's solar eclipse and the new moon, right? That's like a new moon on steroids, basically. So if you've been focused and you've been really doing stuff and you have been doing all that, then you got gains coming, right? And we all have gains coming, but like the more energy you've put into something, the more it's going to have you gain. Now, it may not have you gain in the way that you think it was supposed to have you gain, but excuse me, my mouth is getting dry. But it kind of depends on, what it is at your path and how that's working in your life. So, sorry guys, for those of you that don't know me, I forgot to say that. My name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot and a little bit of astrology and hypnotherapy, and I do all kinds of stuff. I've been doing this a long time. I've been a psychic medium all my life. So, welcome everyone to Indigo Tarot. I appreciate you watching. And also, I have a video out that I was talking to the Aquarius about the solar eclipse, and it's like they're trying to, they pulled the ads and they pulled some stuff because I don't know why they did that. All I can think of is that we were talking about real abilities, and I don't teach these things in the public like a lot. I'm going to start, but I don't know what happened. They're like trying to pull this video. So you guys might want to go watch that before it goes, because we talk about moving time and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so back to you guys. So in this lunar eclipse, I've asked Spirit your position, and then there's advice, and then the outcome, and then in your solar eclipse, so this is your changes, this is letting go, and this is your gains, right? So I kind of feel like a lot of you, looking at these cards and meditating and talking to Spirit about it, I kind of feel like a lot of you were like, you have this raw talent. You're Aries. Like, you have that spark. You can do things. You have the spark to do things, and you have these raw talents. But you know, the talent is only going to get you so far. What are you going to do after that? Like, you have to study and hone and do that. And I know you Aries don't have a problem with it. You just sometimes have to get focused on the one thing, right? So that's kind of what I'm feeling here. Is it's more about you being going from your raw talent to what you've learned, to your experiences, and your willpower and your drive and your ambition. And you guys are really good at this. So I can see why this is happening for you guys, because you guys have some, like, I kind of feel like maybe you guys had some stuff come and like over the year some things were coming and it was all good, and then it stopped, and then it started, and then it kind of went back and forth. And that was Aquarian energy. Aquarius is all about humanity. Aquarius is all about, like, let's give to everyone, and everyone should be, you know, even. But they have this misconception of, well, I can't take too much because then that would leave none for the rest, or not enough for the rest. And that's not true. They're coming from that narrow-minded sort of thing. Not that they're narrow-minded, that's just their way of thinking of things. So they just have to open up more. So that's Aquarian energy. It's all about humanity. And so you were probably doing some things and getting some stuff, but it wasn't a lot of stuff. And you were like, where's everything at? Like, I know better. I'm Aries. I know better. I know when I work at something and I can manifest those things and those things come true, but it's like not coming in the way that I'm wanting it to come, right? So that time's over. We're going into Leo energy, and Leo's about getting his. Like, Leo's not going to work so many hours and not get his resources. So this is what this is about for everybody, and that's what the hype is, right? And with it being Leo, and it's going to be in you're going to be able to see it in America. It doesn't mean that it's not affected in other areas of the world. It just means it's really prominent over America and our land. So we have a lot of changes going on, a lot of gains, a lot of, like, things that we hadn't even thought about, and of what's going on in the land, right? So, like, it's really shining on us. So for safety reasons, I know you guys know this, but just be sure not to look at the solar eclipse without the glasses, because it can hurt you. So let's get started. In your first position, what I asked was, what is the thing that you are, where's your position? What are you focused on? What is needing to be worked on in the 11th house? So for you guys, it's the 11th house of the lunar eclipse. So the 11th house. Now the 11th house is about your hopes and dreams. The 11th house is about putting value to your purpose, right? So in your 10th house is your purpose, but 11th house is sort of sustaining that 10th house. It's like giving the value to that, okay? So I'm sorry, Spirit's coming in. So for you guys, your position in the lunar eclipse, in your 11th house, in your hopes and dreams, and the things that you have worked on and thought about, and this is what I want to do, and this is the direction I'm trying to go in. You have the 3 of disc, or the 3 of coins, and this is the Sacred Circle Tarot. I'll have a link below for an affiliate. It'll be through Amazon. If you want to order it through that. I mean, if you want these cards. I haven't used these cards on film before, but they're really cool cards. You guys know I love Celtic, so so the 3 of discs is about, if you can see that, 3 of disc is really intricately working on something. So for you guys, it was your purpose. It was what was driving you, right? And if you look at these coins or these discs, you see that this person, back in the day, with not the machinery, but with raw talent, was able to make these beautiful discs with all of this intricate stuff, all this detailed stuff. So he put a lot of work into it, right? Into each one of these. He put a lot of work into getting the details right with the resources that he had, which means that was his raw talent, right? So I feel like for you guys, in your hopes and dreams, in this area of your life, you had been working on your purpose with your raw talent, right? So, like I said before, things have to change. You have to go with the ebb and flow. Like seasons change, and eventually, that raw talent is only going to take you so far. You have to be studied and experienced in it to be able to take it further. And because this is in your 11th house, which is putting value in your hopes and dreams, I feel like this is higher learning, and this is yeah, higher learning and studies, and like really learning past what your raw talent is. Okay, so if you have been working on something but you didn't take it any further because you were doing it on your talent, I feel like this is your position, and this is what's going to be changing. This is letting go, right? That doesn't mean you let go of the thing or the project. It just means it has to change, right? So it's like sometimes we have to let go of things so that the other energy can come in, and that's what I'm kind of feeling like. This was your position. This is what you'll be working on for the next 3 months, but you'll really feel it like for 30 days. You'll be feeling both of these a lot. So the advice here is the Four of Wands. Now if you look at this card, this is like, it's got four, or these wands that are like on a pinwheel, right? And so, and this card is called development. So I feel like their advice here, development is like just going with the ebb and flow, understanding things need to change, really working on that. And you guys are really, really good at going with the flow, but sometimes you get stubborn, hard-headed, like, you know what it is and nobody else is going to tell you anything else. And what they're saying is sometimes maybe we're trying to give it to you in an easier way, and maybe you have to like change directions a little bit. The ebb and flow and working with whatever this your hopes and dreams are, that's what creation is. Creating your hopes and dreams and putting value in your hopes and dreams. Creation is about, I'm creating something, I get inspired, I start working on it, the Three of Disc, but sometimes I have to like pull back and I have to look at things again, and maybe I need to go in a different direction. Doesn't mean I need to drop that, but maybe I'm seeing it in a different way. Maybe something needs to change. Maybe I need to like do it this way to make it easier, or do it this way to make it simpler. Like maybe it's just overcome my life and I need to like back it off a little bit and really, really balance in that. And so that's what their advice is. They're saying you have worked so intently, you have been so focused and detailed, and you've done a great job, but it's time to like release some things and maybe move in another direction, right? Maybe do it a little different way. And with it being the lunar eclipse, it's going to be abrupt change for you. Okay, so if you're being stubborn and you're being hard-headed, it's going to like, it's got to move. So it's got to change. So whatever this is that you've been working on in your hopes and dreams, if you are not open to the universe, if you are not flexible, it's going to move. So be aware of that, okay, my beautiful ones. Now the outcome is the Two of Discs. So the Two of Discs is about, again, the ebb and flow, but maybe you've put too much attention and too much detail and you've like forgotten how to play. Like maybe you need to go relax a little bit. Or maybe you've said that you wanted these things and then you went in the direction of, I'm going to play, but I really do want these hopes and dreams, but I'm going to play because I'm tired of working and I want to play and I want to feel happy, right? And so maybe you did that too much. So the Two of Disc, it's fluctuation. It's going back and forth between. It's working in the ebb and flow. So for you guys, I feel like this time of your life, and this isn't for everybody, this is a general reading, but I feel like for you guys, this is a time of life for you to learn how to not only work with your raw talent, but gain experiences and study a little more and gain some skills and be a little bit more flexible in the things that you do. Be a little bit more accepting of the things that you do, right? I know up until this point, You know, many of you may have said, well, the only way I can get it done is because I got to do it and I got to force it and then I've got to do it, right? And they're saying that's a great thing to have. That's why you're an Aries. You have that spark, right? But sometimes for your benefit, so that it's a little bit easier for you, so that maybe it's a little bit simpler for you, you have to like learn to flow a little bit, accept some things, let go of some things, move with life. That's kind of what's going to be going on in your 11th house. So I feel like with this, in the end, you'll be like learning how to incorporate your hopes and dreams in your everyday life. That's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like some of you sometimes are so directed that you feel like your hopes and dreams are too far out there, and you're thinking, do I have the energy to go get that? Because I'm trying to live life here, right? And so they're saying that there's a way to do it. There's a way to move towards your hopes and dreams and incorporate your life. And that's what they're trying to show you here, okay? I think you're going to do great. I mean, you're an Aries. You can do anything. Come on. Like, you're going to do fine. But this is just the area that needs to be tweaked right now. Yeah, for Aries, for the Aries energy. And again, this is general. If you want to do, like, I think I'm going to start offering like birth chart readings, just like and maybe like asteroid readings and stuff like that. I am going to start doing astrology, but I'm doing it on my website. But I'll let you guys know. I'm going to start teaching you guys the houses and the planets and, you know, my interpretation of that. I am not an astrologer, but honestly, I've been studying and working with astrology probably, I was trying to think of the first time. It was like in my early 20s, like, and I'm way older now, so it's got to be about 20 years, 20, yeah, it's got to be 20, 25 years that I've been working in it. I just don't call myself an astrologer. I'm a medium. So I'm a spiritual advisor. All right, so in your solar eclipse, and again, we have the new moon on the solar eclipse, so it's really about new beginnings, and the solar eclipse is about gains. Okay, so what are we going to gain in this? And for you guys, it's in the 5th house, right? And because the solar eclipse is got Leo energy on it, that's what it's going to be doing. It's got the Leo energy in your 5th house. Leo is going to gain. The solar eclipse, you're going to gain. So what are you going to gain? So your 5th house is about your expression, your expression to the world, your creativity. It is, that house is ruled by Leo. So Leo energy in Leo's house is like really, really on you. And then you have the new moon. So you really got some new beginnings. And I feel like maybe some of you have been just a little bit stubborn in some things. And so it's time to sort of like, you got to release some of this and you got to move with this so that you can receive this. Okay? So, again, this is about like writing and reading and creative work. Okay? So, but remember, this is what I love about fire signs. This is what I love about Aries and Sag and Leo. You come from your heart, right? And Leo in this house wants you to come from your heart. So whatever this is, whatever you're going to create, it's got to come from your heart. Not what other people want you to do, not what you think other people want you to do, not what your partner wants you to do. This has got to come from you and your heart. Okay? And I know that a lot of you can work so hard that you forget about what's really in your heart. You can get back to it quickly, but you forget. So in this house, it looks like your gains are going to be creating something. So you're going to be starting some stuff. You're going to be having new beginnings. Now the Chariot, this is your position because this is what I asked. What is it that you'll be working on and receiving gains from in the next 6 months? You have the Chariot. So the Chariot, you know, is this beautiful, beautiful goddess, or, yeah, goddess, with the black and white horse. But she holds the reins, right? She's telling them where to go. So she is directing that. And that's what they're saying that you're going to be working on. You have all this raw, fiery, spark talent, and it's time to create. It's time to channel that energy and create what you want. It's time to get centered and focused and create what you want. So that's what I feel like you'll be working on and gaining in this house. Okay, so there's a space within all of you that can create something beautiful, but what is that for you? It's time to do this, right? And so with their advice, with the 10 of wands, you have 4. So listen, you've got, like, their advice is use, this is fire, this is you. Their advice is use your energy, but expand from that energy and move it in a different direction, or expand from that energy and make more, because you can, because this is fire. They're telling you use your talent and more. Use your talent and then gain some stuff, right? Because the 11th house is about higher education too, right? And the 5th house is about creating that. So this was about you really tweaking what you know, but tweaking it by some of you, like going and learning, going and trying to get a skill and experience from what your raw talent. So in this house, they want you to know that when you channel your energy, your creative, if it comes from your heart, if it's something you've been wanting, if it's that thing, then use, it's funny, I hear use the force. So use your force, your sheer will, in the 10 of wands, to take a direction in your life so that you can attain your dreams. That's what they're saying. They're saying you have all this energy within you and it hasn't been focused too much. Like, or maybe it's been focused. I'm kind of feeling like some of you, it's been focused on the wrong thing. And then some of you, it's just sort of been all over the place, right? And so they're saying focus that energy, channel that energy that you come with. The 10 of wands is always about pushing through with a heavy heart sometimes, right? So pushing through and having that force. And they're saying take what you want, think about what you want from your heart, create that, take a direction, and use your force to make it go through, right? And then you get to that point where you take that, you go from raw talent to your experiences and your skills, right? But this is the direction you're headed in. So what is that that's been sort of in your heart that you haven't created? Because that is what's making you anxious. You not doing what you really want to do is making you anxious. It could be, right? So the outcome is the Star card. Now, if you look, the Star is under these stones, right? And so the Star is illuminating what's dark. The Star is giving a direction to the land around it, right? It tells you this is where the light is. This is where it is. So the Star, for me in this, the outcome will be when you do this and when you have this force, I see you coming back, some of you, to this thing that you thought you weren't going to pick up again, or this thing that you'd forgotten about, or this thing that really never ever left your soul or your heart, but you had sort of put it away and not focused on it. And I feel like when you do this and you focus your energy and you feel from your heart and you create from that, you have this beauty coming up of what you always wanted to create anyway. You just forgotten about it, and then you got misdirected, and then you sort of went on with life. But I feel like there's a place where those things from those dreams, those creativity things, those creative things, those I don't know, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a business, maybe it's a talent, like a passion that you have. I feel like that's going to come to the forefront. And remember, for the next 6 months, when you do this, you get gains from it. Okay? So you gain those things. So to me, my beautiful Aries, I'm sorry. I was just thinking, I don't know why I was thinking Sag. But to me, my beautiful Aries, this to me is telling me that it's about reconnecting and channeling your energy and bringing back what's really, really in your heart and to create that. That's what I feel like these, especially the first 30 days of letting go and starting new and letting go and starting new. So you're going to be doing that back and forth. Um, I feel like those things that you thought you have lost, or those things that you maybe even forgot about, or maybe those people, or maybe those situations, those things are going to be coming back to you. Okay? And this is a great place to be in, especially now that we're in retrograde. Retrograde is about creating. Retrograde is about thinking and coming from your heart and planning. It is not, retrograde is not the time to like put into action anything. Retrograde is about creating. Retrograde is about thinking about those things. And then you start them after retrograde. But it's about tweaking and planning. So, my gorgeous ones, I hope this helps. Have a wonderful solar eclipse. You got some really, I see some really special, heartfelt stuff coming back in this area. And I'm very, very happy for you, because I think for a while, y'all are so funny because you can put a smile on your face when you're not really happy, right? And I feel like some of you are going to get back to this happiness, and I'm really proud of you. All right, my gorgeous ones, I love you, love you, love you.